This is 150 Days of Winter. You get this view. It's been an incredible day. Thank you all for everybody. Well, it wouldn't be another winter without another ski goggle being listed on Kickstarter. And this one, like all the others, is full of superlatives. Let me introduce you to SIRIUS, the smart AR ski goggle for your skiing. Initially announced 9 months ago by a Zurich company called Oslong Innovations, unveiled the first ski goggle with to show augmented reality. They of course have changed their wording since then to not so much have the first goggle anymore. I would of course debate the difference between ski goggles with heads-up display showing speed, etc., and goggles that actually show you what we define now as augmented reality. A perfect example is Oakley Airwave, which had a heads-up display, and that came out over a decade ago. Don't get me wrong, it didn't last very long, but I think it was before its time. 9 months ago, when it was first announced, it was meant to be released in February 2022 for the price of 600 Swiss francs, which is about 600 US dollars. So let's go through that Kickstarter page and look at the features. And as you know, I'm going to try and be as level as I can as I read through this, but I will point out anything that looks a little bit dubious, just trying to be fair. So we have the SIRIUS Meet the Future of Skiing with SIRIUS AR ski goggles, offering AR navigation, emergency calling, built-in headphones, HD camera, and walkie-talkie. Well, to put that down, AR navigation we have, presumably it has GPS in it. Emergency calling, it has a link to your phone. Built-in headphones, link to your phone. It's got an HD camera, okay. And it's got a walkie-talkie, again, for talking to other people through your phone or through the app. The ultimate ski goggles revolutionizing navigation, communication and safety on the slope, and we get to see a picture here of people wearing them with, you can see like the weather in the top left, the time in the top right, and also details of other people who are also wearing these goggles. Immerse yourself in the augmented reality adventure while skiing, and we get to see two beautiful people wearing the product. We of course immediately see a picture of the heads up. For all your skiing needs, tracking performance, I'll translate that, it has GPS. Tracking location, GPS. Tracking weather, it has links to a weather app. Staying safe, connected to your phone. Communicate with friends through their app. Shooting footage, well, it's got a built-in camera. All in one device. Oh, I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Unleash the full potential of a skiing adventure with SIRIUS. And so we get to see what the features are of these things. And it says it has an embedded walkie-talkie feature to stay connected with your friends on the piste or record and share photos and videos with a tap. Again, through your phone. Audio built in, your goggles are now also your headphones, embedded stereo speakers for crystal clear voice calls and music. Well, if you remember from last year, the Radar Link Lens Pro goggle that I reviewed, I will probably be giving that away later on this season, also did that job actually very proficiently. Anyway, we're going to move on. SOS alerts in emergencies, every second counts. Press the SOS button to get instant help. You're notified when your friends are in trouble. Again, it would be interesting to know how they do this, whether it's through the app. A smooth recording, an optically stabilized 60 frames per second 8 megapixel camera embedded in your goggle. No need for chunky action cameras. Again, I've seen this done as well with a camera embedded above the above the nose piece of the lens, which is, we then have all-day battery. Long day on the slopes, just swap your battery and within seconds you're ready to go with a few more hours. Well, what is it? Is this an all-day battery, or is it a battery that will not last all day and you need to replace it? We will have a look at the specs of the battery as we go down. But trust me, if Apple told me that I had all-day battery on my phone and I had to recharge it at lunchtime, I would call them out on that. Designed for convenience, equipped with tactile, user-friendly buttons, for easy and convenient control. It's effortlessly accessible even with the thickest of ski goggles. Now this is actually a really difficult one. With every goggle that I've had when it's been January or February and I've been wearing my very thick gloves, actually getting to feel like a tactile response is incredibly difficult. Photochromic lenses. SIRIUS glass adjusts to environment to gently protect your eyes and avoid snow blindness, which is very good. If you want for photochromic lenses, the more infrared that they get exposed to, the darker they get. So in theory, instead of choosing a lens at the beginning of the day and having to change it, these ones actively change depending on the light level, which leads me to believe that the lenses are not replaceable. Ooh, and then we have a very highly technical piece. Our near-eye diffractive waveguide display can show your relevant information without distracting you from covering your view, navigation, fitness data, or important alerts, all in your line of sight. Now this is very important. I'm not going to go into the near-eye diffractive waveguide display. However, with heads-up displays and also displays which are built into helmets for helicopter pilots, in basically with any display, you do not want the display to look like the information is here. You want it to look like the information is way out there, so that you're focusing at the information when it's in the distance as opposed to when it is there. Because if you're looking at it there, you're not focusing on what's going on around you. So that is very important. So it then says AR navigation, SIRIUS glass adjusts to the environment to gently protect your eyes and avoid snow blindness. Well, again, I think that's a typo, because that goes back to the photochromatic lenses. Anyway, points of interest. And of course we see the person arriving at a bubble lift, and it shows the restaurant on the left, bubble lift on the right, and all with little bits of information on it. Labels for places, friends, landmarks displayed in your field of view thanks to augmented reality. Okay, I can imagine that the information that I'm seeing here is not the final product. This is incredibly complicated. I'm just going to say that. There are an awful lot of ski resorts in the world. Whether it will cover, whether all that information will be in for the ski resort that you are in is questionable, I'm going to say. If you're in one of the big resorts in America or Europe, you probably will have no problem. But again, it looks good, but again, that is incredibly difficult to do. Follow me. Going down the slopes together, select follow, and you will see where your friends are. And of course it again shows you complicated routes to where your friends are. Again, something that is probably quite distracting if you're trying to ski. Danger zones. Don't get lost in dangerous territories. SIRIUS will alert you to highly dangerous areas in your field of view and suggest routes around them. Now, I don't know whether this is just showing you the edge of the piste, although this person is actually going down the piste at 80 kilometers an hour, which is incredibly dangerous in itself. Again, I don't know what it is blocking off to show you which is on piste and which is off piste. Again, when we see them in action, we see that like certain bits are shown in red, other people who are wearing them are shown like with icons above them, etc. And we get to see various other things showing information. We get to see a nice view of the goggle, this time with a green lens. We see for the first time what the AR display looks like on the inside, although it's incredibly difficult to show that information from out there. Going into the specifications, battery, it's delivered with two 800 milliamp hour batteries with 6-hour usage. Now, I would question that 6-hour usage because ski goggles are, especially in like December, January, are submitted to very cold temperatures, going down to like -20, and any battery regardless will suffer. So 6 hours usage, is that in a nice sunny day when it's like just round zero, or whatever it says 5 days standby hours? You are going to need two batteries if you want to actually ski all day, especially in winter. Adjustable strap is nothing to actually shout about. Every ski goggle has an adjustable strap. External speakers, again, like I said about the Link Lens Pro having external speakers, although by the looks of it, these ones are downwards firing. These have got triple layer foam on them, which again, for a high-end a pair of goggles is fairly normal. We have the function buttons on either side, which are long and thin buttons, which I guess makes them easier to touch when you are wearing thick goggles. Top of the goggle, they've got a camera, and it then now tells us that the action camera is 1080p with 60 frames per second image stabilization. Skiers can make videos while skiing. Well, I'm going to say that is quite disappointing. I would think you have to go all the way back to a GoPro 5 when they offered 1080p at 60 frames per second. We've got function controls. We've got a big old circular pad to do functions. Again, unlike the vertical button, the function controls, that thing there looks like, with thick gloves on, that is harder to do. As we go down, we have the first bit of information that is messed up. That at the top of the thing, it talks about having an 8 megapixel camera with full HD 30 frames per second, and now of course it says at the bottom 12 megapixel photo with 30 frames per second 1080p video. So immediately I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, because if they are not doing 1080p in 60, something is going completely wrong. It's got a quad-core ARM processor that is a very standardized Android phone device, running Android 9. I don't know, but probably down there you will see what the current version of Android is. 32 gigs of storage, which fine if you're recording at 1080p, that's absolutely fine. 2 gigs of RAM, which again, for a basic Android system is absolutely fine. And all of a sudden we get our first shocker. We get the VIP price. And the VIP price, if you buy it now, is just under $1,000, which is, I'm sorry, too much for a pair of goggles. And this is a guy who wears Oakleys, which are $250 instead of $1,000. But that's only the VIP price if you book right now. Very soon they will be going up to the early bird price, which is $1,200. And their retail price, when they finally come out, will be nearer $2,000, which is too much. They can see that they have 33 backers at the moment, and their initial goal was €9,300, as each device is about $1,000, euros, Swiss francs. Their pledge goal was only 10 devices. I don't know what that says about them. Now, one thing that I would like to point out, that if you're being observant on all the videos that they show, you'll have noticed that none of the video clips feature people wearing helmets, And looking at the design of the goggles, those large like earpieces, you can see that they may or may not interfere with the like earpieces of a pair of goggles. Because they haven't shown them, it also, and again, you've also seen them, people flying down the slope at 80 kilometers an hour plus, again, not wearing a helmet. Okay, I know I don't wear a helmet, but I also don't bomb down slopes probably that far. You know, if it works, and there is a massive if about if it works, then all fine, good to you. However, whereas the other ones and the ones with the like bone conducting headphones and things like this, even dealing with that and pulling something in at a decent price point is difficult. For doing this at this, I would think that, you know, you only get the full benefit of this if all your friends have the same goggle. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts about it down below. I'm giving these guys the benefit of the doubt, but it is now November, so their campaign will not finish before, well, it'll finish by the beginning of December. I doubt anything will be shipped this year, despite what everybody ever says. If it's shipped in February this year or March this year, that is too late. So this will finish by December. So yeah, I'm gonna be perfectly clear and say that these aren't going to be available this winter. I'm just going to say it. Okay, anybody who is thinking that they are, I'm just having a look at the estimated delivery January 2024. Which they're not going to do. I'm sorry. It's like everybody, and I'm just going to say, these will probably be made in China. Everything is made in China. Around January, they have Chinese New Year, where everything shuts. I got this from the bone conducting headphones one and other things that I have ordered from China. So yeah, they're saying estimated delivery January 2024. No. I would go and place good money that these will not be shipped in January 2024. I'm afraid. Yeah. So with all that in mind, what are your thoughts down below? I would love to hear what you think. These are trying to jump the shark, and I think the same sort of person who will buy one of these is the same sort of person who will spend like 3,000 or 4,000 on a pair of Apple augmented reality goggles for sitting at home. But who knows? Who knows? And we shall see. And on that, if you, of course, enjoyed this, do all that stuff, subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you all in the next Kickstarter review. Ciao.